you're on, correct?
The form goes before the board. Actually, I believe the assessor is actually able to make that determination on his own because it simply conforms to the legislation that you were instrumental in getting
That's right.
passed.
I forgot that. Yeah.
But the reality is you do need the form. This is why it's become incumbent upon the members of my industry to be well versed on this issue so that we can in fact make sure that we provide our clients with the relief that they have available to them thanks to your efforts.
Yeah, now if you rent the place or something, the deal's off because now you're getting income.
That's right.
And this is for the folks that are trying to wait out till they sell their house.
Well, you've turned it from a trailing primary residence to an investment property, and because it's an investment property, it's going to get treated differently.
Uh-huh. Well, I guess I did something right there.
Well, there's no question in my mind.
Now, let's talk a minute about the appeals process, because that's where you're much more familiar than most of us.
The appeals process is very humbling, and I don't know how else to put it. To sit there and listen to, we had over 500 people physically come in and talk to us just in Bloomfield Township. And then we had an additional 500 letters that came in. To have 1,000 people who live in the community that you live in ask you to make a decision about whether or not their taxes should go up or down is as I said before, a humbling experience. And I have to say that the citizens of my community, and I can't speak for anybody else's board of review or citizens, certainly were wonderful. I can't recall with perhaps one exception, anybody who really was angry with what was going on. They understood and they appreciated the time. Candidly, I know that we were treated with much respect, and we tried, and there's 3 of us on the panel, tried to give each of the citizens asking for relief the same respect. The panel was comprised of myself, a past president of our state association who lives in the township, and a gal who's been an appraiser, a residential appraiser for a number of years. So we were all individuals familiar with values within the community on an active and immediate basis. It wasn't, we weren't a bunch of academics sitting back trying to figure out what was going on. The first thing that we need to do whenever you're going to, first thing you need to understand about your taxes is that you will get a notice from your municipality. The municipality will send that out sometime after the first of the year, typically in February. There is a deadline by which they have to send it. I don't believe there's an early deadline that they can't send it before, but it will be after the first of the year, and again, typically in February. The notice is going to tell the individual what their state equalized value is and what the new taxable value is going to be for the coming year.
Right.
It will tell you also what your taxes were for the previous year, and there'll be a notice as to whether or not they go up or they go down. Now, that change, whether it's up or down, is going to be based on what's happened to in the 1-year study that they've used or the 2-year study that they've used, or if there's been a change of ownership. If you sold the house and another owner is in it, then the capped value and the state equalized value become the same, and the process that we talked about starts all over again. So you will get a notice that will explain that. The notice will also specify how you can make an appointment to appear before the board of review or how to make a written appeal. And please, I'm going to be quite candid, I'm not certain that we treated our written appeals any differently than we did our physical appeals. With 500 people coming in to see us, we had approximately 8 minutes, I think, to sit and listen to people. There's not a whole lot of time. You know, thank you, who you are, explain the problem, the concerns, outline your information, and then give it to us. And then we were going to make a decision in executive session later anyway, which would then allow us to, again, notify people of what the decision was after they were gone.
Well, the thing that struck me, you know, we had, some 200 people show up in Royal Oak when we had that seminar on how to appeal taxes. And then the next night we had 375 show up in Birmingham.
Yep.
And it's like you say, people were not screaming and hollering. They were thankful to know how to do it. And probably the biggest lesson was you just can't walk in there and say, my taxes are too high.
And unfortunately, some of the written appeals that we had were simply that. So of the 500 writtens, I would say maybe only 200 were the true, I think I have a problem and here's why kind of thing. Everybody else was perhaps what they call a protective appeal, just reserving their right to go before the state tax tribunal later on if they felt it was necessary.
Now, the state tax tribunal, just so you know, I checked on it. They've got 6 judges, a total office of 25 people. They had 1,200 cases last time I looked, and some of them were big commercial cases, and some were kind of small. Now, with what's going on, 1,200 is going to get bigger, and you only got 6 judges. And the big cases are complicated. You can't do it in 8 minutes, maybe not even in 8 days. So the idea is, well, I'm just going to wait and head for the state to get this fixed. It's probably the wrong idea. You need to be as accurate as you can be as soon as possible, and it's your board that gives them the better break.
I would agree with that. What you're going to find, there's a form that you have to download, and I believe you're going to post that information at the end of the show. They'll be able to go online and get that. And then you want to search the available records. You want to and you can do this. Typically, you can do it at the assessor's office.
Right.
You may be able to do it online. You may be able to get the assistance of a
and
realtor.
they've been very helpful. Oh, I see we're running out of time. See, you hooked me again. Well,
My
listen,
apologies then.
I want to thank you. You're doing good work, and it's at a great price. You did it for free for me, and I appreciate that very much.
Well, Senator, you're doing a great job for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.